I was so ashamed of my truths and my childhood that I numbed myself with alcohol and cocaine for many, many years. And in 2016, my brother-in-law was living with us. And on a Sunday, I said, okay, it's time to put the partying away. I need to be a mom tomorrow. Not on weekends, apparently, just on weekdays. And he was in psychosis. And again, hurt people really like to hurt other people. And I told him to get out. And he says, well, if you want me to leave, you need to give me some money. And so I threw him a $100 bill and says, why don't you go overdose? And he did 6 days later. That was the journey to standing on my feet. Losing him showed me just how hurt I was. And so I decided that I'm not going to party anymore. In the form of alcohol, or in the form of drugs, I was only going to drink. That was not manageable at all. So my last night drinking was October 15th of 2016. I am now 542 days sober. And Curtis is not here today, but he is a big why, because there are so many people who are not here because of their choices, and I am here to show that it can be done. It was a year ago yesterday that I met Joe and Brenda, and I stood on the stage and I had 60 seconds to share my story. And so I said, I'm an addict alcoholic and I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse and I want to be a speaker. How? So I went home with all my notes and everything that I got from this event, and I sat on my couch and I waited. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And then it was the lovely Wendy Foster that says, well, what is your why? Well, I don't know, but how? How do I make money? How do I get speaking events? How do I get clients? No, back it up. What's your why? 3 months after Curtis died, my brother, who is 5 years older than me, has Lennox-Gastaut, and 39 other disabilities, passed away. My mom made sure that I was not there in his last 24 hours in the hospital. I was invited an hour after he died. He is another one of my whys. When I pulled out my whys, everything shifted. I actually messaged Joe right away and said, I'm ready. I want to be a frock-off sister. And Brenda, I want to be in your book. And everything changed. Before you knew it, I was speaking at least 3 times a month. I started my own business. I kicked my terrible dry drunk husband out. And now he's a wet drunk, so now he's happy and I'm happy. I've spoken at Frock Off. I'm speaking at Frock Off again. I am now an author who travels to events and connects with people on a whole other level. Instead of people looking at me and seeing an alcoholic or an addict or a party animal, I wear my cape every day. I do my hair and my makeup. I dress for the person that I want to be, and I show up, and I make a difference. And some people are amazed when they hear my story of, down in the dumps. But really, rock bottom is a great place to start building yourself up, And so I decided that I was going to come out with my story, that my stepdad molested me from the age of 2 to 10, and that he is still in my life, but not anymore. That I don't need a father just to have a father. And so I left my parents. I have not talked to them since. I went to the police and started an investigation, and more people have come forward that he is also molested. I no longer have parents, but I have a tribe. And that tribe is so darn big that they need to start branching off and making their own tribes. And so I say now, we need to talk about childhood sexual abuse in the same context that we talk about childhood car seat safety. Because there were so many signs of me growing up that I was being molested and abused. I was bruised. I cried a lot, and nobody asked what was wrong. So my goal, just like Joe, to touch 13.1 million, my goal is to end sexual abuse, domestic violence. There's no need for this anymore because together we stand, hold each other's hands, and put an end to it. These uncomfortable situations that are uncomfortable to talk about need to be talked about. And the more I talk about it, the easier it gets. And I'm going to make it easier for all of you guys too. And with that, I leave you. Thank you.
Wow. How one's life can change in 1 year.